So I've been shooting medium format for a while now, and it seems every time I go out to shoot, I'll learn something new. The previous time it was using the electronic shutter, and you get all that jello-y effect. This time, however, I took it out finally for shooting out at night in the rain. Now I was a little worried because you can't really do that slow. You can't really do that low shutter speeds handheld very well with medium format. But actually, the pictures came out really well. Like I don't think I got any blurry images. Maybe because I was being like super careful to hold the camera very steady. But there's also something else because like usually when I shoot with my other cameras, I'll just have the camera set to auto ISO. And like my cameras are old enough that they don't have like an ISO limit, so they just do whatever they want. But I've never had a problem with them going so high. Or actually, I take that back because when you look at my pictures on the web, even when they're printed, you don't really see much noise because I don't expose for the blacks or the negative or like the shadows. I just leave the shadows dark, and I only expose for the highlights. Well, this time around, I let the camera be in auto ISO as usual, so I got a pretty good shutter speed, decent enough. And when I saw them on the computer, they were okay. They were pretty good, but the ISO was like 12,000 or something like that, 12,500. So this is really the first time I've actually gone in and looked at the features of the camera. So next time I go out, I'm going to set an ISO limit of like 6400 or something. But actually, when you look at my pictures, even at 12,500, the pictures look really good. I mean, you'd have to pixel peep to see any noise. So I was really pleasantly surprised. Of course, I learned my lesson. So I set my camera to have a limit of 64,000. And that's gonna lower the shutter speed for sure, but I think I'm good enough to do these things handheld. So I'm really surprised because you don't really see the noise, except on these YouTube videos. Because for some reason, when I make my videos, the pictures look great on the computer, they look great on Twitter, and they look great when I'm editing. But when I export the video, like the quality degrades and the pictures end up looking worse. I think that's why some people say that like the pictures sometimes don't look so great on the computer, like when you watch the videos, but actually when you look at them in person, they look really much better. So I'm not really sure what's up with Adobe Premiere's export settings. Like I always thought I did the best, but apparently not. So lesson learned. And another thing, and this is something like it never really occurred to me that much because I never really bothered with these things. But like, so I was using the Mamiya Secor 55 millimeter. I think it's 1.8. I got it at the flea market for like $10. The guy wanted 20. I got it for 10. And this is something I learned with the other lens too, which are also vintage lenses. But when I use my APS-C, when I use my full frame, I can have these lenses with screw-on filter, and no problem. The camera doesn't pick up much of any difference at all with these filters to protect the lens. But on the medium format camera, these old lenses, which I might point out with these older filters, the camera picks up on these filters, and it kind of does degrade the image quality a little bit. It's kind of like it looks like a thin film of haze on the picture, which can be easily fixed with like the haze slider in Lightroom. But you take off the filter and the image is way better, like just unbelievably better. I never had that problem with full frame and APS-C using these lenses, these vintage lenses with these old filters. Like if I were to use like these new lenses with the new modern filters, like they have those special coatings, it's great. And but using these vintage lenses with the actual vintage filters, big difference. So I'm gonna take that off from now on. Maybe I don't really need to do it if I'm doing full frame or APS-C. It's just something I noticed with the medium format. But yeah, I'm very happy with the images. You know, like I said, using vintage lenses, medium format is it's really fun. You know, it's kind of see which lenses work great and which lenses have a lot of vignetting. Obviously, a zoom lens has a lot of vignetting, but all these other lenses, very little vignetting. So I'm very happy. That's why I tell people you don't need to buy like a $2,000 lens for medium format. You can just use some vintage lenses. But actually, this is something I never mentioned before, but someone came up in the comments. But I would like to get like a medium format lens, vintage medium format, not the new one. So I've been eyeing, and I wanted for the long time, the Pentax 105 2.4. If you use the 645 system or 6x7 system, if you use like the old Pentax medium format, you probably know this lens. Like a lot of people, they buy into the Pentax medium format system just for this lens. But of course, I don't do portraits, and this is more of a portrait lens. But if I did have to get one, I would get that one. I like it. You know, I've seen the pictures. It looks awesome. And something else I've always wanted, but I'm not gonna get because, you know, money's tight. And really, I have a lot of lenses already. Is the Nikon perspective control lens. I think it's a 28 3.5. I think, I'm not sure. But like, since I will be doing a lot of things with like a tripod now, I can start getting my verticals straight. You know, these are all vintage lenses, but they all work great when you adapt them, much like all the other lenses I have right now. So yeah, medium format is a learning experience. I'm learning new things every day. And yeah, I basically, every time I go out and shoot, I tweak things a little to make the camera more suitable to me and my needs. So I'm very happy, and I want to share those things with you, and I hope you enjoy the images and all the content I'm creating. Hopefully it's different, you know, from all the other YouTube channels. Anyways, I'll see you around.